Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to VEGA Conflict. Today isn't about the Alliance War, it's actually about suggestions. So the daemon is still just reigning supreme, no matter what seems to be thrown at it, so now it's time for the next suggestion of the tech. I have 2 overdrive generators, and 1 special with a set of 3 levels for the Altairians today. Next up will be the Umbra, naturally. But let's go ahead and let's just keep this short and simple. I won't share any stats or anything like that, but I'll describe the basics of what each one does. And there will be synergy between the 2 generators and the special, all of which will be Altairian only, and the generators are naturally going to be Altairian carrier only. So, let's take a moment to admire the view of the base. Well, more specifically, let's go ahead and let's just take a look at the planet in the background while I talk about this. So, the first generator is going to be called the Denial. And the name is fairly obvious. It's meant to deny something. What it's denying is the Pharmakon's ability to enter phase for a long duration as they do now, as well as deny them the ability to maneuver the way they do now in phase. It is in turn stripping away the one ability that makes them overpowered against them, and that is phasing. It will apply debuffs to the drain, the charge, and the movement speed of Pharmakon craft while they're in phase. This one only affects ships in phase. If they're not in phase, they will not be affected, but when they enter phase, they will be affected. The point is to force them out of phase and force them to remain in the fight for a longer duration to allow the players to be able to have a more fair fight against the Pharmakon. So the Altairians will no longer have to run away, well, they can't even run, die to the Pharmakon. They will instead be able to force them to fight on their turf. The second overdrive is named the Absolution, and it is aptly so named. It increases the movement speed, the damage versus Pharmakon, the damage versus screens, the damage versus just about anything Pharmakon related, even if it's just a speck of dust. It increases the range of Altairian vessels. It increases the movement speed of the vessels. It gives 10% increased shield defense. It gives 5% increased shield regeneration by default with no delay. All with a lovely 10,000 meter field. And that's the support field. And again, just like with the Denial, it will rely on a Pharmakon entering that ring. The difference is how it's activated. The Denial is meant to force the Pharmakon into standard space and fight. This one, not so much. It relies on them being in active space, not in phase space. It will not pull them out, but instead, when a Pharmakon vessel enters the ring, not in phase, it will activate the overdrive and allow any Altairian vessel, well actually any vessel in this case, because it's literally affecting anything with shields, movement speed, range, it's giving them increased screen damage, increased Pharmakon damage. The goal is simply to destroy them, and in this case, just outrange them, because one thing that the daemon is so known for doing, timing their phase abilities and just outranging you and destroying you. Well, what happens if it's reversed because you keep your carrier near your fleet? Well, all of a sudden they have to change their tactic. They can no longer sit back and take their time. They have to rush you. Because if they take their time, they close into the carrier support field, it activates the overdrive, and all of a sudden you outrange them, you outdamage them, and every shot they take reduces their time in phase. The special. Diverting power. It comes at the cost of shield energy per level, and there is 3. but what you gain in return for it is more than well worth it. And again, it synergizes with either reactor you choose. What it does is it increases movement speed. So this means you can equip it with thrusters, which is fine. It increases movement speed, strafe, and rotation. It increases damage to Pharmakon even further. It increases damage to screens further, and it gives an innate shield regeneration of up to 10% per second with no delay. And again, this is all at the cost of shields. And at max, it'll be a negative of 10% for the shields. That's all I've got, everybody. Those are the three major things. The main one is the denial, because the problem with the Pharmakon is that they constantly phase, and I don't think they need to be nerfed. The Altairians just need to have stronger technology, i.e. something that can rip the Pharmakon out of phase and force them into the fight again. But that's all I have. I figured I'd share it with everyone, just like I do with the Discord, and that's where all the stats are posted at. The original set of ideas I shared was similar, however this is the more or less fleshed out idea. And if anyone wants example stats of the drives or anything like that, just go ahead and say so below in the comment section. I can literally copy and paste the entirety of the page that I have typed up with the stats of the denial, the absolution, and the diverting power 1 through 3. So you can see exactly what they're for. And this is just to increase the diversity of the power of which the Altairians hold over Pharmakon. And to very, very heavily discourage Pharmakon versus Altairian fighting, because that's the RPS system has been broken forever, so this is just my way of saying let's fix it. But that's it, everybody. Stay safe out there. Well, I don't want to skip to the end just yet. Go ahead and share your thoughts below. If you have any ideas to help counter them without nerfing the Pharmakon's ability to phase, but give the Altairians buffs through technology, weapons, things like that, say so below in the comments section. If you have any suggestions for future content that doesn't relate to the RPS system but would be nice to see, go ahead and leave it below in the comments section. Now we can get on to the outro. Be safe out in the void, everybody, and as always, I will see you later.